Attention citizens, nuclear strike imminent.
Oh, I just love perfectly preserved pie. Ain't nothing sweeter. Ain't that right, Todd? He loves it too.
Ah yes, the perfectly preserved pie. We've all seen it selling for an extortionate amount of caps at players' vendors. And some of you may be wondering, what is the deal with the pie? Well, today we're going to be finding out. So the perfectly preserved pie is a consumable item that we have in Fallout 76. It is also in Fallout 4, where it was a little bit easier to get. So it looks a bit like a cheesecake slice with some strawberry sauce on the top and some whipped cream or something. It looks really, really nice. Like every time I get one, I'm like, I wouldn't mind eating that. It makes me want to eat cake. But the pie will never spoil. So it's got no spoilage on it at all. You don't need good with salt on. You don't need to put it in your freezer. You can just carry a ton of these around. I don't know why you would, but I do. Anyway, that's beside the point. Like, does it do anything though? No, it doesn't. It gives you 15% food. It gives you 20 HP, and it gives you 1 radiation, which is different to in Fallout 4 because it gives you no radiation on Fallout 4, and it restores 30 hit points. I don't know why they've changed it for this game, but it's still pretty useless, you know? But because people are putting these in their vendors at such a high price, it makes players, especially new players, think, what's going on with the pie? Why is it so expensive? It must do something special, obviously. Well, no, it really doesn't. And it's not actually that hard to get hold of. You've probably seen it in the porter diners that are scattered around the wasteland. I did spend like a whole day going to loads of them, and I marked down how long it took me to get one out of each one of these porter diners, and it took ages. And I don't know why I did it, to be honest. I really don't. But hey, it's done now. I was checking, like, if I put my luck up, would I get more? Stuff like that, and nothing really seemed to affect it, to be honest. But porter diners aren't the only way to get it. There is a fixed spawn for it on top of the West Tech Research Centre, so I'll show you now in the video where that is, in case you don't know. So from the spawn point, you just run down the side here. You might have to take out a turret and some super mutants over here, and then you want to go all the way up the stairs. I'm just going to fly up because it's easier. And then once you're up on the roof here, you want to jump over these big pipes, and you'll see these 3 little sections on top of the roof. This one's got a load of paint in it, so this is handy to grab for some lead and stuff. And then just beyond it up here, there is like a little picnic seating area, or maybe a break area, because it looks like someone was doing some painting and took a break. And the perfectly preserved pie should be on that wooden crate there. Now, it's not on this server. Somebody must have had it today, so it spawns daily on here. But I did get some footage of me finding it on another server. So if you desperately want one of these pies and you don't want to be just like trying your luck at a porter diner, you can go and get it this way. And then you can pop it in your store, an extortionate amount of caps, and just see if someone buys it. I did actually put one in my store for 2,000 and it did sell. I don't know why. I just thought it would be a little test. I put it in and someone bought it. Like I said, I really haven't a clue why they bought it, but they did. But yeah, it is not worth that amount of caps because it is not really that hard to come by. The reason people put it at this price in their vendor is not just to make people think that it's worth more. It is the same reason as they put the "you have been insulted" letter in there, or the "pipe is life," and they put them up at like 40k caps. It's to prevent the vendor glitch from happening again. Same thing as with those notes. So it's like just a little placeholder in case that glitch was to come about again and people could get access to your stash, because that would just be horrendous. So this is why people have items at an extortionate price usually. When I first came back to the game after having a few years break and I seen this in people's vendors, I was like, there must be something with this pie. Like, how do I get one of these pies? Why is it worth so much? And then I looked into it, and even online there's a lot of confusion. People are saying it's trade only and stuff, and you know, it really isn't. It's really easy to get. And I really don't know why I spent a whole day going from porter diner to porter diner. I must have gone to about 20 of them, you know, seeing how long it took me to get a pie from each one. I think this game is making me lose the plot. And like I said earlier, it's easier to get in Fallout 4. There is like a crazy formula with your luck and how many attempts it will take, stuff like that, in the porter diners, but you can get them in Eatertronics as well. Like, how cool would it be? You know, the Eatertronic we can put on our wall in our camps. How cool would it be if that dispensed a perfectly preserved pie every now and again? I would love that so much. I'm not sure why, because like I said, it doesn't even do much, but I'm really obsessed with this pie. So yeah, you can get it in the Eatertronic on Fallout 4. There's like 2 slices. on a counter in Cappy's Cafe, and then there's a couple of others as well which are just like scattered around. So there's a lot more available in 4 than there is in 76, so maybe that's why it's a little rarer as well, because you don't come across it very often, do you? And that's probably another reason that people think that it's actually worth a lot more than what it is. So, other fun facts about the perfectly preserved pie. I know, right? Great video, this. There is an actual official Vault Dwellers cookbook, and it's written by Victoria Rosenthal. Bear with me. Victoria Rosenthal. And then... Aha! Nice! And it has got the recipe for the perfectly preserved pie inside there. I'll show you a picture now of all the recipes that are inside this book. But I'm starting to think, shall I make a perfectly preserved pie in real life? I kind of fancy having a go at it now. So I might have to get hold of this cookbook and start baking, I think. Because there are people on Reddit and stuff that are saying, I've made the perfectly preserved pie from the official cookbook and stuff. So I've got a bit jealous and I'm like, oh, I want to make a pie. And I'm sure the Dino Lord would be buzzing if I made him a pie. He'd be so happy. You never know, maybe I'll record it and make a video of me making the pie. And when they say this cookbook is official, they mean it as well. There's lore additions and stuff. So it says, although the majority of the book is just recipes, it does contain 4 introductory sections. Introduction, entertaining the Vault-Tec way, dietary restrictions, and cooking after the vault. The cookbook is written as an official Vault-Tec Corporation publication, though it also has several notes written by Wasteland Traveller who came from a vault and has travelled all across the country from the Commonwealth, Nuka World, Far Harbour, and the Capital Wasteland, and New California. They took a GOAT exam in their vault. Isn't that the one that you take in the beginning of Fallout 3? I'm sure I remember doing that at the beginning of that game, which gave them the job of fry cook. The official cookbook was programmed into the Mr. Handys throughout the vaults and was required reading for its residents. So apparently as well, several food companies made corporate partnership deals with Vault-Tec to have their foods featured in the cookbook, including Fancy Lads that do the snack cakes that we're always picking up in the game. And get this, the Slocum's Joe Buzz Bites were never sold to the public, but Vault-Tec obtained the recipe and put it in the cookbook anyway. Vault-Tec is so shady, aren't they? Saddle Up refused to work with Vault-Tec, but they reverse engineered the recipe for Salisbury steak in order to include it while attempting to avoid legal action. That sounds about right. So there is a lot to this book, like there's so much more than it just being a cookbook. And that makes me want it even more. There's supposed to be a load more stuff in it as well, like about how potatoes are extinct on the East Coast, but there's scientists that have managed to recreate them in limited quantities, people who are researching how to bring back broccoli, the recipe for chicken noodle soup coming from the Church of the Children of Atom, and loads more stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and get hold of this, for definite. Did you guys know about this Vault Dwellers official cookbook? And if so, have you cooked anything from it? Let me know in the comments below. Also, how many pies have you got? And did I waste my time collecting 28 of these? So that's probably enough from me for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video about the pie, and hopefully maybe you learned something, I don't know. But give us a big thumbs up, and maybe consider subscribing if you love Fallout 76, because we've got loads more of that coming your way. I am going to go see if I can get myself this Vault Dwellers cookbook. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and take care.
Get the bell on.
Thank you for your cooperation.